Life itself is a sum up of the choices we make in life. While we cannot determine the circumstances that come our way, we are responsible for the choices that we make in life. Every day, we make one choice or the other that shape lives, that shape destinies. And these choices are very powerful because they determine our destination. They determine where we are headed. Today we are looking at the impact of choice. The impact of choice. It's today's live on Bingham Television, and we're happy to be doing this together with you. My name is Jemima Emmanuel, and I have Mr. Lucky Wudaba on set with me today. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much. I made a great choice to be here.
Actually. Hi, Mr. Emmanuel.
Hello, it's my pleasure. Always.
It's my pleasure to have you here as
Thank
well.
you very much for having me.
Thank you. Thank you. You all look good, by the way.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You look beautiful.
Thank
you look unique.
Let me represent the Emmanuels. You look beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, so today we are looking at the impact of choice. We were always making one choice or the other, whether we're ready to make it or not. We are always faced with one kind of choice to make in life or the other. And I would just want to ask, like an overview, generally, what do you think is the impact of choice in our lives today? What are the impacts? How impactful is this choice in our lives today?
Okay. Even though I saw you looking at him, but it's okay. I thought
You're always a Kickstarter.
He's still thinking, but let me just kickstart and then allow him to drive from hence. You know, there are basically two things in life that we don't decide, that we don't choose. Okay, I will say it in diverse ways, but it's still one thing. When, where, and how we are born, and who gives birth to us. And then, when, where, and how we die.
Sure.
But every other thing we choose. To a very large extent, so to say. Choices. You know, I decided to be here. It's a choice.
Yeah.
I can decide not to be here. I decided to dress the way I am dressed. I decided to eat today. I could decide not to eat.
You'll have fasted.
You understand? I would have decided.
Or just stuff.
Or just stuff, basically.
Yeah.
So everything we do is hinged on the choices we make. And to put it simply, you know, we are always confronted, we're always faced with the need to accept one thing as we reject another. You know, to pay attention to one thing as we take our attention away from another. So you cannot, choices or choice is something that you cannot escape from. Even when you decide not to choose,
It's a choice already.
Actually, that's a choice on its own.
You're choosing.
Yeah.
You understand? So I don't see human beings escaping from choices, and you know, it is so impactful that you can actually, I know the air that we breathe is given to us by God, but do you know you can decide not to continue breathing?
That's true.
Choices.
Yeah.
Choices. You can, I'll come back to this. You can decide to live and you can decide to die. That's why people commit suicide.
True.
You can decide to hold your breath and say, I don't want the air again. But it has been given to you free of charge. And one of the most powerful things that has been given to man by God is choice. Maybe let me drop the mic.
I'm already carried away by your thoughts. Okay, the impact of choice or choices. You know, life is like a spreadsheet. Every waking moment of our lives, we have spread of options of what to do, what not to do, where to go, and what not to do. And you know, God is so wonderful. The gift of will to choose is one of the best gifts that God has given us. And that's what makes us different from robots and even AIs, artificial and all of that. You know, so no choice you make is neutral. Every choice comes with an impact, either positively or negatively. You know, so our choices impact our lives significantly. It can make you make progress in life or retrogress. It can make you hurt others. It can make you, beneficial to the life of others. In fact, ultimately, like the opening remark, it determines the course of your life. Your destination, your destiny, it impacts people around you, your workplace, everything. So life is a series or is spread out of choices we make, and they are not neutral. When you look at, you have an overview, whether biblically or in the society, or you see how choices either make or mar leaders. Choices either make or mar young people. Choices either make or mar marriages. Choices, even in church and every other human organization and, you could think about. You see the imprint of choices in everything we do. So choices have significant, choices, they have significant impact and bearing on our lives. We go along life, whether, just like he said, we make the choices consciously or unconsciously, we bear the marks and ultimately the consequences of them. So choices or choice have significant impact in our lives.
They have significant impact. They give you options to pick from. And then these options are almost always stated out clear. You do this, these are the repercussions and consequences. You do this, these are the rewards you get. It's left for you. So it's like they are saying this and this, but this will be beneficial for you. But you open your mouth, use your mouth to decide which one you want to do. So if we're constantly faced with one choice or the other to make in our daily lives, in one day you can have a lot of choices to make. So
things to choose from.
Yes. So not even talk of a week, a month, so many years, you're constantly at the verge of making choices. So do you think that one choice can change the course of your life amidst all of the million choices that we are making? Like, one choice should not even be significant. Nobody should even notice it at the end of the day. Since you're constantly making a million choices. So do you think one choice can change the course of your life, and how?
Okay, you see, the influence and the power of a choice can only not just influence your life, it can destroy your life or enhances your life. Let me give you one example.
Sure.
Look at the choice Eve made. God said, out of all of this, don't eat this one. The day you eat it, something will happen. And Eve had an interaction, the only woman that had face-to-face interaction, the only being, let me not say woman, the only being
that had face-to-face
interaction with the devil himself. And he lured her into making a choice. And sometimes when you don't evaluate the consequences of your choice, you make choices carelessly. For me, for you to make a very good choice, you need to evaluate the consequences of the choice you will make. But it seems as if they didn't evaluate the consequences.
She made an impulsive choice.
Impulsive choice. She picked the fruit, ate. And that one choice didn't just affect her alone, didn't just affect her husband, affected the whole course of humanity.
History.
True.
You and I were, and you know the most unfortunate thing is, Adam and Eve didn't give birth to any child before the fall. They all gave birth to the children after the fall, when they were driven out
so
of
it
the
affected
the human nature. That's why no child is born a saint, because of one person's choice. The whole course of humanity was affected. Number two, Abraham made a choice. He was waiting on the promise of God. God promised him a child. But I don't know, maybe he was at the verge of giving up and what have you. Then his wife brought a suggestion. Another woman, I don't want to say anything about that, suggested and said, look at our maid, Hagar. Why don't we just get an option, from her? And the man, I don't know, maybe he has been lusting. A good option came to baptize his lust. He said, well, he went into her and she gave birth to who? Ishmael. He wasn't the child of promise. God promised him, but he counterfeited the promise of God by going into Hagar. And look at the implication. Do you know, most times people don't know that Isaac had 12 tribes. Ishmael also had 12 tribes.
Just imagine.
Imagine
Mirroring the
a
promise.
counterfeit of an authentic promise.
True.
Look at the problem today. Because of that one mistake of getting Ishmael, today we have Uzballah. We have Lakurawa. We have bandits. We have Hamas. We have, and look at the impact of terrorism in the whole world today because of a choice.
The choice of one man.
Of one man. We can go on and on. These are negative choices that impacted us. Positively, we can talk about Jesus. The Bible says, by one man's sin spread through the world.
Yes.
But by one man's choice to die for the whole, the cause of the world. So, one choice have eternal impact.
You know,
It can impact. Please go on.
no, it's okay.
I'm
I
sounding
will let
like
you-
a preacher now.
No, it's okay. That's fine. That's fine. That's why we're here. To just have this
Sure.
You know what is coming to my mind, just to buttress this point, I'm going to say just three things summarily. There are what you would call minor choices. Okay? There are also what you would call major choices. But maybe let me add a third. There's what you can term a life-changing choice. In fact, I can add a fourth. There could be what you can call, because that's what he is describing, what you can call a humanity impacting choice. So there are minor choices. I want to drink this water, or I want to eat this food. I don't want to eat this. I want to do that. It may not have that kind of lifetime impact. But there are choices that you make. I'm careful. There are some things I'm careful about mentioning. Let me just say, for instance, now, people make mistakes, okay? Somebody is now, for instance, living with, let's say this, okay, let me just generalize it. Somebody is now living with the scar of an incurable disease because they made one choice. Somebody now is, I know of ladies who, it wasn't because they were raised bad girls. It wasn't because that's who they are before that happened. But they made one choice to sleep with one boy. Just one choice. Just one. And they became pregnant. Some even attempted to abort. Some,
And that choice, some even affected their wombs.
True.
exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there are choices like that, and there is nothing you can do about it, and it stays with you. It remains a scar. I have a scar here, somewhere here. I went to play table tennis when I was a boy. I have another scar here. You see this scar? They tried. It took time before they were able to stop the bleeding. Yes.
Wow.
I think it was this one that I went to play table tennis. So I was close to it.
That's a memorial.
That's a memory. You
A
understand?
reminder. That's your rainbow.
So there are choices. There are choices you make that you will have to live with the scar forever. Like we are living with the scar of Adam and Eve. Talking about Bible characters, one character that comes to mind is David. David was a wonderful man.
Yeah. A man after God's
A
heart.
man after God's heart. But he made one choice. And the choice started with a look. In fact, it started with others were going to war.
He
At
decided
the
to
time,
relax.
go.
He was looking for comfort.
you understand?
Expensive.
Yes.
Yeah.
At the time
Yes.
when kings went to war, he decided that, "Kai,
Stay back.
let me rest." And then he decided to leave rest from his bed to balcony. And he decided to turn and look. And from the look,
That was
he
all.
decided to send. And
No,
you know,
he also caused another man to look because this he called the servant to
and-
identify the look at the ripple effect.
you see
True.
the ripple.
True.
And then it didn't just end there. And then after his episode with Bathsheba, they had a son and all that. You
He
know,
still had to kill her
he
husband.
still had to.
in cover up.
You understand?
Yes.
He wanted to cover up.
Yes.
So because of one choice, because of one ripples upon ripples, and you see how even though the man after God's heart, you see how because of that choice his family later scattered.
Yeah.
People don't
The
understand.
consequences
People,
of that.
you know, a lot of times when we talk about David, a lot of times we push aside what he suffered and what his family suffered because of that choice.
Yeah. His son raped his wife openly.
Openly in public.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of times when we talk about the man after God's heart, people still talk about that pre that experience. People don't talk about that post what
After.
happened
Yes. Yes.
because of one choice. So choices can be very impactful. They can be very powerful. You know. So
Both positively
and
And
negatively,
negatively.
yes, and
Yes,
negatively,
yes. I love the fact that we have pointed that it will not just affect you.
Yes.
It will affect your family. It will affect future generations to
In
come.
future, yes.
Yes,
Understand.
that I remember in the Bible when someone commits a sin, they pin it down to his family,
Yes,
his
at a time,
clan,
yes.
his
Achan,
tribe.
Achan.
Yes, and the entire
Generation.
will be wiped
You
out.
understand? So
Yes.
Yeah.
So
That's how
indeed,
powerful choices
yes.
can be.
So
Yeah.
indeed, the choice is not just on you alone. It affects many others. So knowing that, why do people knowingly go and make harmful choices that they know would affect them? They still go into it. It's just like knowing that there is a well here, and if you enter here, you fall inside. Then you say, "Don't worry, I'll still enter. Just wait." She fell, I won't fall, and they still fall. So why do people knowingly make wrong choices that are harmful to them? Knowingly. I'm not even talking about those that didn't know.
Sorry, can I make a comment before we move on?
Go ahead.
You know, I just want to comment that in the case of Achan, it affected his whole family immediately. Now, just also to mention to people, listeners or viewers out there, that was in the old dispensation, that kind of thing happened physically or literally.
Where the Bible says
can
the
still-
parents ate the grape. but
Exactly, the
figs,
children will suffer.
the cake.
But later, the Bible now said, whoever the
Every
soul,
that
the
sinneth.
soul that sins shall die. No longer will parents bear the consequences of the sin, and and all
But
that.
even now, some
Don't worry,
children
I'm coming-
bear
I'm
that.
coming to that.
Say the
Don't
son
worry.
of this person.
Yes.
Hey.
I will just write you off.
Yes, I am coming to that. I'm coming to the truth is that even though that's in the old dispensation and this happened, that was the decision of God. But even in the new dispensation, the other day I was saying something about how that sometimes you are doing things in secret, thinking your child is not seeing. it is life that gives birth to life.
Sure.
It is not your shouting or saying, don't do this, do this. No. Who you are has a way of being imprinted upon your child, upon your children. Except, of course, they reach the point of maturity, and for they have to begin to make their own decisions. Some of us, you can't lie. It was after we came to Christ, but you can see the imprint of some of the choices of our parents on us. But so we had to come to a point where we made our own decisions. But why do people still go ahead to make choices that they know will have negative impact or effect on them?
Yes.
I would say sometimes there's pressure. I will use the example of Eve. You know, sometimes wives can pressure their husbands to make some. You understand?
See Job.
See Job. See Abraham.
Joseph.
See Samson. You understand?
First time the Bible says day by day.
Day by day. So
And the
pressure.
man gave up.
So pressure can come from family.
Yeah.
Pressure can
Sure.
come from friends. Pressure can come from society.
Yeah.
You understand? Sometimes too. Sometimes we in business or in business training, we tell people there's something we tell people delay gratification.
Okay, delayed,
Delay gratification. If you want to succeed, especially when you're beginning a business, we tell one of the principles you need to abide by is the principle of delaying gratification. So a lot of times people want immediate gratification. Excuse me, you are not yet married. And you know there is gratification, there is pleasure that comes with having sex. So people don't want to delay that gratification. They want to enjoy what is meant for the future now. So
without commitment.
Without commitment. So, and you know the urge for okay, let me not say the urge of sex. The urge of gratification can be strong. It can be powerful. The urge, for instance, people steal government money because they want to satisfy the gratification of looking rich, driving big car, living in big houses, flaunting, securing their future. You know, all those things. You know, that's gratification, the desire for that gratification. And one gratification I can use to describe all other gratification is the gratification for sex. It can be very strong. It can be very powerful. You understand? So the power of that desire pushes people, even though they know that this thing has negative consequences. So it pushes them to still go ahead, you know, to want to do it. And you can apply it to many other things. You know, I can say among other things. Let me go.
Okay, while he was talking, I also look at the urge for alcohol. You know, somebody is an addict today because 25 years down the line he made a choice to just test something that now, you know, is affecting his life. The reason why people sometimes make negative choices is because they don't evaluate the consequences. Most times, there are people that damn the consequence, whatever, because of the immediate gratification, like Ima said, and the immediate pleasure. You know, is the default setting of a natural man to crave for immediate enjoyment, you know, so our desire, satisfaction. Look at Esau. He came, he was hungry. No emotional intelligence.
He couldn't wait.
He couldn't wait. For how many minutes? And you know, there are people that because of food, I've seen ladies that have sacrificed their virginity.
Yes.
Because of Indomie. It may look very funny.
I grew up in the barracks, so
I've seen a lot of spacemen.
Yes.
Indomie with egg or without egg. As simple as that is. She opens the cost of her life. In fact, I listened to something that broke my heart. This lady gave in to a man that was so nice and good to her, you know, and she was a virgin. The first day she did that, and they met in church, she didn't know that he's HIV positive. 1 month, 2 months, her body system started changing. Oh my God. She went to the hospital. The doctor told her, okay, wait. You know, there are certain, after the test, if they tell you wait, your heartbeat will triple. And she was surprised. I've been, okay, nothing. And the doctor broke the news to her and said, you are HIV positive.
Ooh.
And she was amazed. This is the first time she was having sex.
Hi.
To a man she thought really loved her, cared for her. And after that, the man stopped picking her calls. Nowhere to be found and all of that. So sometimes we don't evaluate the consequences. And that's what I think Greek people call it a crasher decision that crashes your life. You don't evaluate. You don't assess the consequences.
Sit down and think.
And you don't, you know, for you to make a very good choice, you need to exhaust every information you have, including the consequences. That will enable you to make good choice. For instance, look at Joseph. Potiphar's wife, the same, look at two people, Samson and Joseph, being pestered by women. But one made a wrong choice, the other one made a right choice. Why? He said, how can I do this thing? One, to sin against God. Then two, to sin against my master who has not withheld any. So you will see an evaluative,
Yes.
conscious, intention, somebody that has taken stock of the impact of a choice. The same to Daniel. Daniel had an opportunity for luxury, to enjoy his life in the king's palace with delicacy, but he made a choice. He said, he made up his mind. He has assessed, he has evaluated, for the sake of God, I will not do this thing. So most times we make wrong choices and wrong decisions because we don't evaluate the consequences. And in fact, when consequences are evaluated, decisions become easy.
You know, something
That's
is coming
true.
to my mind.
We don't
also.
look through it
We
till
don't
the
look through
end.
it.
Yeah.
You know, he talked about the story of a lady who gave herself to somebody because for whatever reason she thought he loved her.
Yeah.
Okay, there are stories. Okay, I know of a story of a lady who was a virgin too, but because the man was so nice, so good, and in her own case, he wasn't really asking, but she felt indebted.
For niceness.
And that's and the reason is naivety. She was being you know, some people make poor choices because they are just being naive.
That's true.
Inexperienced.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're
Yes.
just naive, and she gave herself to him innocently, thinking, no, this person has been good, this person has been nice, you know. Also, I want to mention that though I talked about minor choices that may not be life impacting or may not be life changing, as in a one-off choice.
Yeah.
But people, we also need to know that because there's a problem of carelessness too.
Yeah.
Sometimes we make little choices in carelessness.
Yeah.
Thinking, for instance, no, let me visit that girl as a friend. And you know that girl, you may not be a bad girl, for instance, but you know that she's a bad girl. But you keep telling yourself that, no, she cannot make me a bad girl. So you keep going, you know, you visit another club, you know, like that. I don't drink. Cumulative. So there's something that we used to say with some of my friends. You are who you choose.
Yeah.
And you are becoming daily who you will become by the choices you make.
Make.
Yeah.
So those little choices, though little, as we say, can have a profound impact and effect. And in this case, if it is negative, that's terrible. But if it is on the positive angle,
which is
wonderful, keep making them understand. So that's what the angle I want to add, so that somebody doesn't say because they are not life-changing now,
Yes.
they can keep making them understand.
To buttress what he's saying, you know, even health-wise, I know of somebody that had a minor, he just stepped on nail and he neglected it. You know, and he was using spiritual language. I'm saying this, you know, painfully. He said he's buffeting the flesh.
Oh, wow.
You had an injury, instead of you to go to the hospital, take tetanus, anti-tetanus, and whatever, he neglected it. The thing started growing. The impact started growing. Before you realize, it metamorphoses to what? Cancer. I saw this young man died before my eyes. Swollen bodies everywhere. You know, he couldn't talk. And that was how life was gradually ebbing out of him. Why? Because of one careless choice he made with his health. So, you know, this choice we're talking about has impact in every area of it. It could be health, it could be marriage, it could be family, it could be in church. I've seen leaders made a crucial decision, one decision, and churches were locked. People were affected. Some even abandoned the faith because of that. You know, so in this age and time, you see how people make poor choices, even in terms of their health. You walk at the expense of your health. You know, I think I heard this from Tunde Bakari. He said, you know, at the course of our life, we use our health to look for wealth. At the end of our life, we use wealth to look for
take care
health.
of the health.
I mean, how ironic.
Ironic. In this 21st century, somebody will have an injury and will neglect
you
it.
sit-
Some will even pour sand on it.
You know,
Do you understand? So we can talk about the effect
I'm
and
telling
impact
you,
of choices.
the-
in every
We actually
National
need to
issue.
move ahead. We will be here
do you know, as a
30 seconds, Mr. Emmanuel. 30
do you know that
seconds.
Nigeria or Plateau State, let me say Nigeria, is where it is because of the choices that we keep making. Individually, the leadership, the followership,
and we are still borrowing.
and we are still borrowing.
When I
The
move to the
choices.
next question, you will not talk. Okay. So I would in as much as these choices come every day, they don't look more of choices. They just look like we're moving with life. But then it is important that we be intentional about everything. The ones we think are choices and the ones we don't think, we should be intentional because it affects us now or later. So then I would want to ask, how do choices made by parents affect their children? That was why I was saying people should calm down. Now, okay, I'm not done yet.
Yes,
How do choices made by parents affect their children? Like generally, like even starting from life partner, the kind of life partner you choose, how does it affect your children? You know, career choice. A lot of parents intentionally pick careers for their children and say they have to do this, and the children will go to school. When they are done, they keep the certificate for you and say, you asked me to do this, so here is it. And you know, just recently, I think on Friday also, World Sickle Day was celebrated. You know, the choice of the partner, the genotype. You know, people don't really take that into serious consideration. They say, oh, we love each other and that's all that matters. But then you have children that are constantly dying right before your eyes. So how, this is just a little amongst the so many other things. So how do choices made by parents affect their children? And how can it be rectified?
You started with the issue of sickle cell, sadly. As if the case of Marine AS is not enough. I heard the story recently, a couple of weeks ago, of a guy who had to succumb to marrying an SS, even though he is AS. Okay,
Just
let me allow that drop.
Just why?
Yes.
On what background? Love? Or self-pity?
I actually know of one that married an SS, but he is AA.
Yes, that's fine.
Yes,
That's a
but
good-
even
that's a
at
good
that,
com-
yes,
conversation.
I'm
But-
even trying to compare to
Yes.
so even at that,
You are
they
perpetuating a
struggled.
yes.
No, AA can marry
Yes,
SS,
I'm
and
saying
they will
even
have
at that, they were
yes,
constantly
okay. Her
going
health.
in and out of the
Okay,
hospital. So they struggled. Not to
Exactly.
even talk of
Yes.
the AS you're mentioning.
So that's sometimes we allow our emotions and pity to cloud our judgment. We are not here to dismiss people's emotions. For instance, you can see that the guy is already punching you, and you insist, and everybody is telling you, even your parents are saying, don't marry this guy. I mean, you're not yet married, and he's punching you. And you said, no, he loves me. He loves me, that's why he's punching you. And you marry him. You understand? And what do you expect in marriage?
To punch you and your children.
So, and your children
To be continued.
to be continued. And your children will grow up seeing their father punching their mother. It has an impact on the child. The child, in most cases, the male children become violent because that's what they are seeing. And you know, children love playing father and mother play.
Oh, they role play.
They role play.
Yeah.
You understand? So, the mother, her pain, her what do you call it now? The abuse haven't gotten to her. She can slip into depression. She can also react in violence and all that, and it can rub off on their girl, on her girl child or on their female children. And it is this kind of situation that you see sometimes gives birth to girls. How do you think feminism came into existence? From my own observational research,
Family pain.
I have seen that a lot of feminists were born out of abuse. Abuse by father to them, to the daughter, abuse by father to the mother, just abuse. A lot. Go and check. Just pay attention. A lot of feminists, especially, even though they say there are different feminism, as far as I'm concerned, feminism,
critical, radical.
but a lot of radical feminists.
But the thought behind it is
It's a lot of times it is the result of the actions, the choices, the decisions of parents that we have what we call feminism, and they are fighting. You know, everybody. We are not saying men.
patriarchy.
They are fighting patriarchy. We are not saying men should just be domineering and control. You know, in fact, God did not even design it that way. If only people
They don't even
understood
understand God's
Exactly.
leadership
Yes, that's
idea.
right.
the concept God had,
Yeah.
is not for an abusive man to go scot-free. Permit me to say it that way. God designed it for the purpose of order, basically speaking. So, but because of the choices of parents, we have what we have now. The people that you see as armed robbers, I'm not saying all of them. A lot of them, if you go and check, you will see that parental choices has affected them in one way or the other. Very soon, there is a program in my church titled, is a drug program.
Okay.
Titled,
I saw it.
titled Parental Deficits as a, let me just use
There's
as
a consequence to drug abuse
yes,
also.
as a oh my God, how can I forget the other? Parental deficit has as a result of or as an aid to drug abuse in young people. A lot of these young people, maybe parents neglect. Parents have money, so much money, and you keep going out to look for money, and you don't pay attention to the child and all those things. So, and then also, there are at the beginning of this program, I said, sometimes you think you're making choices, or you think you're doing things in secret, and your children are not seeing. They are seeing. Many of us. I was also born in the barracks.
Okay.
Yes, I was a barrack boy. And you know, a lot of our parents used to smoke and drink. And some of us, if not for the mercy of God, would have been smoking. You understand? Some of us, our parents, we saw them smoke. We saw them drink. You understand? And if not for the mercy of God, some of us started actually smoking. You understand? And these are consequences, or these are choices that parents can make that can impact. I will mention that statement that is made in churches. I mean, in churches. In my church, for instance, they say, "Be careful to remove from your life everything that will be a stumbling block in the path of this child, you know, in his path, you know, as he chooses or when he wants to follow Jesus Christ." Now, you cannot shy away from this truth. It's not when you shout. It's not the shouting that you shout. How do you treat your wife? How do you treat your husband? How do you handle the things that don't belong to you? How do you handle, for instance, you are a civil servant. How do you handle government property? What do you say about government property? What do you think about what belongs to government? Do you say it's national cake? You think your children are not watching? your cake, your own this thing will soon become national cake.
Yeah.
What do you understand? They are watching.
You know,
They are watching.
He knows the reverend, but I won't call name. He said when he gave his life to Christ, he had to go and do like restitution, So he went, he met his father. He said, Daddy, I want to confess, I've been stealing your money. The dad say, no problem, no, because the father was also a thief. He has been stealing from, he's a civil servant.
Right.
So it's a normal thing. So for you to do this. So what I want to say is, you see, influence of parents, the choices, it could be positive, it could be negative. For instance, Joshua came up and said, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. And you will see that through the train, of his life. And Paul was talking to Timothy. You see, the faith that was first in your grandmother Lois, that was also in your mother Eunice, and now is also in you. So that's a wonderful choice. For me, he was talking growing up in the barrack. The impression of Christianity I have is from my dad. I saw a man that loved God. I never saw my dad smoke. He was a Sunday school teacher. He invested in us. In fact, at a point, he's doing me as if I was willing to offend God than my father because I saw a model. So that gave me an impression of my faith. When I come home, in fact, the memory verses, the scriptures I memorize and recite today, it was the influence of my father. So you see, that's a positive influence. And negatively, you can make choices that will affect your family. Choice from as neutral as where you work.
True.
Where you work. I decided to deliberately be a teacher because I observed the nature of my wife's work. Very engaging and somebody needs to be available.
True.
I made up my mind to take that because I may not make money, but I have time. And I want to invest it in my children. But you see, somebody in the bid of trying to make money, to meet up needs, has become a stranger at home. No, that masculine touch, only maternal. You are a stranger, you come at night. A lot of people do walking without enthusiasm because that is not what they want to do. A choice as simple as adultery, going out of your marriage, profound impact. We have seen men that have children outside. In order to in fact, the money you are having, you have 2 homes. Your parents and your immediate legal family are not enjoying what you have. The other one, so you are divided. And the children are feeling the brunt of your choices. So it has holistic impact, a lot of impact. We can even just focus on the impact of choice in the family. And you see that it has profound impact. Sometimes the children innocently are the experimental tools for these choices that parents are making. And let me tell you, even in parenting, look at what is happening now. We are adopting foreign to your child. You don't scold him. Why are you shouting on that child? Let him face the wall. A child will come and say, "Fuck you, daddy." Do you know, if it were to be my mother, before that "fuck you" finishes, either one, blood will certainly come out of that mouth. Is by default. You say, and schools are even adopting it. Yes. And that's why before I took my children to their school, I had to go interact with the proprietor, look at their curriculum, and look at their discipline pattern. Because you are representing us as parents.
Of course.
If my child beat him, I gave them that lesson reasonably within the context of his offense. Yes. But parents will come, don't touch my child, and look at the kind of children we are producing. We're breeding. A child will pass you without greeting. And the parent is there. You know, one parent was so embarrassed. I came out with my child and we passed. My child didn't greet. I brought him back. He said, "Greet him." He greeted. And he was trying to tell his child, "Okay, greet." The guy was throwing tantrum and he was so embarrassed. He came. I said, "You see, you don't get this overnight. It's something you invest, and it's your choices. If he has been doing this thing and you don't, stamp your feet on it, that's how the child will grow." See, look at the unruly children we have in the society. Choices of parenting style and what have you. So whatever choice or choices we make, they have profound impact on our children.
Whatever choices we make have profound impact. And when these children watch the parents and learn. Sometimes it's not deliberately that they learn, but because of the repeated patterns.
Yeah.
Unconsciously they learn. They don't even know they learn until they see themselves exhibiting
Yeah,
that.
unconsciously
Yes.
sometimes.
So they may not want to learn, but because they've been seeing it, they learn. So then, can bad choices be overcome? And can good choices be rewarded? How? So that someone that has been indulging in a bad choice does not relax and say, well, I've started it, let me just finish up what I've started. You know, and those that are doing good, have been making good choices and probably have not seen results, let them not feel, well, it's not paying off, so let me just join. I can't beat them, so let me join the other gang. So can bad choices be overcome? How can it be overcome? And can good choices be rewarded no matter how long it takes?
Absolutely. Why not? Absolutely. You know, usually when we say this passage, we say people interpret it negatively. Whatever you sow, you reap. It's natural.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter how far you have gone. I mean, look at some of us. I'm sitting here. I came from somewhere. You understand? Like in my own case, I may not say that I went really deep, for instance. Okay, but there's no depth that the person has gone into that the person cannot change or cannot be transformed. The only challenge, like me growing up in the barracks, you know, you have a lot of small fights, you know, between.
That one is a default arrangement.
You understand?
It's a default
you grew up
arrangement.
seeing those things, and some of us grew up to be stubborn. I remember, you know, don't laugh at me when I mention this. You know, I got around 14, 16 or thereabout. My nickname used to be man to man. It was the sentence: man to man vibration. Trouble must continue.
Hey, what a long one.
But interestingly, I wasn't really the type
a boy claiming to be a man.
I'm telling you, I wasn't really the type that will go out looking for trouble. But you don't look for my trouble and go scot free. But now you can people trample on me. I'm telling you.
And it's as a result of the choice.
You understand?
True,
People
true.
can trample on you and they will go scot free. So it doesn't matter how far. And some of us growing up, we learned also. No matter how much mistakes even your parents have made, there are plenty good things you can learn from them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some of us in the barracks, one thing I know is that your environment must always be neat. As a military person, you cannot. You understand?
What do we call this thing we do every party?
Party. Every Saturday. You cannot grow up in the barracks. Especially, I don't know about other barracks. I grew up in the military.
I know it's military too.
So you
know all barracks.
You understand? So we learned that habit of cleanliness. My dad taught me how to wash my dress.
Respecting your seniors.
Respecting your senior, all those things. So, but maybe you have done something that you think has impacted your life and is going to remain with you permanently. I will go back again. Every problem started with that fall, and every solution starts with giving God a chance. There is nothing that cannot be turned around.
Yeah, nothing is irredeemable.
Nothing.
The grace of God we have seen transform the life of people. If Rahab, Tamar, can be in the genealogy of Jesus, it's not too late.
It's not too late.
There's nothing that is irredeemable. I also played around life. Just like he's saying, I didn't go far. I had to evaluate. My friend started teaching me how to smoke. I tested gin. The first day I tested gin, I removed my shoes. I started entering road. I was nearly knocked down by a car, and that was why I had to stop. I said, this one, my brain, no. Do you understand? So there's nothing you have done that cannot be redeemed. You can trace back your step, you know, redeem your life and start making good choices. Then for those that are making good choices, see, God, the Bible says, is a rewarder.
Yes.
God never forgets. God is the rewarder. So whatever you are doing, don't do it for the applause of men.
Yes.
Do it because that's the right way to do it. And at the bottom end of it, God will certainly reward you.
True.
God rewards. He will reward you.
True. Absolutely. At the end of it, God will reward you. So I just want to take a few comments from what people are saying about the topic. One impact of choice is the consequence of not choosing the best option. And Joyce is saying the impact of choice cannot be overemphasized because every decision we make today becomes the reality we live with tomorrow.
Yeah.
Linda Phillip is saying, every day we make choices, so small and seemingly insignificant, others life-changing. The choices we make shape our character, influence our relationships, and determine the direction of our lives. And the same Linda is saying the impact of choice extends beyond the individual. Our decision affects our families, friends, workplaces, and communities. When we make responsible choices, we contribute to a better environment. And absolutely, that is true. Thank you so much for doing this with me, Mr. Lucky, Mr. Emmanuel. Thank you so
pleasure.
much. And I hope you were able to pick something about the impact of choice. Choice is impactful. So before you make that choice, can you calm down and really evaluate and check, will this choice make or mar me? Will it affect me, my family, my generation, or it will reward me and give me a better thing for people to talk about? I hope you learned, and I hope you would apply it to your life. Thank you so much for doing this with us. Until we come your way again, do have a blessed day. Bye.